This is Tera. We're on Xbox Series X taking a look at this free-to-play MMORPG that features an expansive series of environments, lots of character customization, and some wacky adventures to go on along the way. So yeah, this is kind of an interesting, I guess you could say, entry. It does support auto HDR, which is a nice addition to the game. And I'm not too sure really on where they're going with in regards to resolution options and things like that, because we really don't have much choice here, so it's not really anything too expansive or wildly improved. But we're mostly here to take a look at, the improvements in regards to certain elements of the experience, and that really comes down to like the pop-in and everything like that, which obviously still looks like it's very present within the experience, which was a huge thing. When I was playing the game on the Xbox One X, because I covered it, I think, just ahead of the console launch. It's also got crossplay now, and it seems like there's been server migration as well. So I think we want to go to something where I look like I know I'm good. Let's go to Papalian. Sure, we'll pay the whatever thing. So you launch off, you go into these different areas, you can play alone, you can team up with other people, and you can have intense experiences. When it's free to play, there's no cap on anything like you do, and then, of course, membership things just grant you extra bonuses and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool, it's fairly expansive, it's semi-wondrous, and it's kind of fun. You just fight big monsters, take on dungeons, explore open worlds, there's PvP elements. I think the PvP was a little bit silly in this one from what I remember, so kind of keep that in mind if you're curious about the PvP elements of play. And it's got some neat combat that we're going to be showing off as we go to explore these different areas. I don't think it's necessarily the wildest MMO, but I think, out of the selections, I believe this one does some wild things in terms of like the visual style, the characters, the classes, what you can do in it. They have a lot of fun with that. There's like guild elements and different ways to play with others. It's just a lot of content. They keep updating it and they keep supporting it. And obviously, I would imagine with the, the new kind of people behind it or whatever from that I learned loading this up, that it is something that's going to continue to get supported on the console platform. I also think it's kind of fascinating that they were able to get the control scheme kind of working, but then again, the groundwork of that really was in place from Neverwinter, because they were the ones that really, at least I feel, got the console MMO kind of working. And then there were other ones throughout the years. I think this one, from what I could recall, came out a little bit later in the generation. I actually had a fairly successful review showcase of this one back in the day. This is not the magical land I wanted, but it'll do for now. So you fight big monsters. As you can see, there's lots of like character customization stuff. I had to actually pick a new name too. I was a little disheartened by that, but you get these like cool moves, and then you can see all this this list of different options for combat and stuff, which is kind of cool. And then obviously we've got a horse. Pretty cool, right? And I think I'm a fairly high level. I mean, I'm a 65, right? And there's different towns you can explore, there's different quests you can take on, side quests, main quests, fighting lots of monsters, these different environments, and have different like biome setups and things like that. It's very much your standard sort of MMO type of experience. That's really what I want to get across here, so you get an idea of things. And then combat, obviously as we fight these low-level things, it's nice and easy. When you're regularly doing it, you'll work through these areas and, have to improve your skills in order to be able to take things on. And I think that's kind of fun. So yeah, it just offers a lot that you can do. Different combo-type moves, different setups for your attacks, and these guys are way too low levels. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. Again, I don't think the missions are necessarily the most crazy dynamic things in the world, but they're pretty fun. I think it's a pretty proficient sort of MMORPG experience, because this was also something that I had played briefly prior on PC, years before I played it on the console here, so it was kind of nice to see it come over. And I'm really hoping with this next generation that we continue to see more experiences like this continue to be ported over, because I think we're finally getting to a point where consoles actually absolutely can compete in terms of quality and presentation. And I think that's really great too. So this is kind of the open world. I don't want to get too lost here. The Lake of Tears. Let's go to the Lake of Tears. I'm hoping there's like a fast travel point in there or something along the way. Oh, hello guys. You wanna get killed? I don't know, you just get neat abilities, neat character options and stuff like that. I don't think the beginning things are anything too complex either in regards to where you start and how you get going, but yeah, it's still got some fun elements to it. Again, a lot of gameplay that you can get out of this. That's the main thing. You can spend a lot of time here kind of learning the combative mechanics, what you're doing in this, the different moves you can unleash. And again, there's like the different tiers here, right? Like you can see all these different options for different attacks that we can do. And then you gotta like sort of watch your movements and things. You can just unleash really cool abilities. And I think that's one thing I really liked about Tera was the combat. Seems like really quite flashy and cool and definitely a little bit different, which is fun. You know, because you get there's so many different. We're getting more and more MMORPG games out here. That's what I want to say. You know, there's more options, which is great, I think. But you look at them and kind of like, what makes them different? What sets them apart from one another? And I think Tera does some cool things in that regard. It definitely does seem to be running, you know, a lot smoother. But you know, we're still getting the pop in. I think it's a little bit better, but at the same time, it's definitely not perfect. That's for sure, right? Like, it's definitely got a lot of ugly popping, which is not the greatest, but I think it's kind of just a cause of doing it on the, like, you know, the older platforms. So just having to deal with that level of popping and stuff like that, it's just kind of the way to get things running decently well, right? Kind of majestic landscape here. Oh, that area looks lovely. I think this will be a cool spot to kind of showcase from what I remember. And yeah, you get these kind of larger places that you get to kind of venture through, if that makes sense. Like these different tiered places. So we're in the... I guess I discovered the Lake of Tears. I guess I haven't been here. Wow. Look at me not even knowing what I'm doing. But it's got these enchanting worlds. Cool character designs. And then you've got all these different things. Like you do Vanguard requests, matchmaking, battlegrounds, and stuff like that. Different events. Social postings, your guilds, looking for groups. You can see your character. You get like info on your character, different titles, different abilities. I have like the founder mark because I got a founder pack to you know, kind of review stuff back when it released. And you got your inventory, all these different like gear elements and things like that that you can use, and different tools. And you got skills, all these different skills. Oh, so many skills. I think I gotta deal with some. And there's a crafting aspect too in regards to jewels. You gotta improve that. And then you got your feats, your skills for doing things, your quick signaling. So you can do like quick kind of emotes. And then there's the Tera store for different elements of like a microtransaction type things, right? I think that about covers the systems. Oh yeah, and the cross-play on and off options. That's kind of there too if you'd like to do that. I don't know, I think it offers some good different ways to play this type of game. And it's a free-to-play, right? So if you're looking for something that you can get some good gameplay time out of, I think this one sort of hits the mark in that regard. I know I've spent a ton of time working on this one when it was releasing to really grind through those levels and stuff like that. And it was a good time. I had fun with it. Definitely something interesting to present. I do want to fly to another area, so that's why we're heading over to the flight manager, because I want to present like different sections of the game, so you get a fuller scope of it. There is like a lot of different content and a lot of different areas, and I think it's pretty decent in regards to like leveling and working through it and the different characters and stuff like that. And just kind of a decently well put together experience that I had fun playing. That's kind of important. Again, it's just kind of like the visual elements of it, like the pop and stuff, it's just kind of atrocious. It really, really is. And it seems like there's the odd stutter, but for the most part, it is just like very effectively running. Oh yeah, we're here, so we're kind of locked, and you have to go to different areas in order to go to different places. Oh, like one to the level. Island of Dawn Rescue. 10 to 25. Oscaroth. That might be cool. Let's fly there. I don't even know how much money I have. We're just burning through it on our intense journeys along the way. Yeah, it kind of is intense. So there's like 7 character classes, or character races. 7 character races. And we've got like 10 playable classes. And you can customize your character to match your style of play. a variety of different environments and creatures and landscapes and places to visit and travels to have. And you got the system of, kind of traversal, which is kind of cool. I think it's a neat little thing. And you go through the portals and you get to a new place and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. It takes away a little bit of the magic of exploring new areas when you are, exploring them after you've kind of done the main things, if you know what I mean. I think that's kind of neat. And obviously, it still has like a community that jumps in here and plays it. Oh, the swamp. I like this one. Yeah, okay. I think this is what I showed in my Xbox One X review of this back in the day, kind of going through the swamp areas. They say they've got like thousands of quests, and it's a rich world of history and lore. And I think that's true. I think that's a fair thing to say. It's definitely expansive. It runs cleanly. There's not really any true boosts for it. I mean, the auto HDR, stuff like that's kind of a nice touch, but that's not them specifically doing anything to achieve that. It's more Xbox side of things. Oh, I want it to go through the cool. Oh, I remember this street area. I think you had to fight through here or something. Again, it's been a while. Yeah, that area over there is all messed up and stuff like that. Pleasure Street. Yeah, that was always funny. Huh. Hello there. Pretty short. So like the cover character. Anyways, there's lots of different things you could do in this one. Lots of different places to see. I want to go through the swamps though. So hopefully this kind of leads us there. I mean, it might, right? The something caverns. That might be a cool place. Maybe not. Maybe the labyrinth. Oh, here we go. We got some jungle stuff going on. We'll go this way. So there's just lots of content. That's the big thing, right? That you could spend a lot of time kind of exploring, taking things in, seeing the different areas of the world of Tera. And I just think it's awesome to have this sort of game here on the console. And that's the thing. I'd like to see more similar games like this also around on the platform. I think that would be awesome. Because it's cool to have these options. And cool to have more players jump in and experience what the world has to offer. Because it does feel rather smooth in comparison to, how it did on other older Xbox consoles, that's for sure. But, yeah, it's definitely a lot easier when you can slaughter everything. Should have found some more intense bosses or something like that. But at the same time, it looks pretty smooth when I'm just slicing through people, am I right? It's like these guys ain't got nothing. Nothing at all. I don't know, I got pretty cool swords and like clothing and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. Whoosh. Down you go. Good lock-on system. I don't know, I think they moved the controls really well to the console platform. I think it's pretty proficient, just in regards to handling everything like that. Moving around the world seems pretty easy going. It's kind of this large, wondrous landscape. It's kind of neat. Definitely different though. It's been so long. It's nice to get back here. Time passes after you get the work done on a game, and you're kind of like, wow, it's been a while. Do I need to go into the labyrinth area? I don't think so. But you get your different missions. You got your goals, you got your quests, you got your enemies to battle, you've got your places to explore, the challenges to take in. It's expansive. It really is. It's a cool fantasy world. I think that kind of leans into being really neat as well as the fantasy element of it, and just what you're doing with the characters. I don't know if the story's necessarily, like the core story is necessarily fascinating. I think it's more like the side missions and the overall adventure that you go on that's the most intriguing part of what this has to offer. But it's still rolled in on console. I think that's cool. It's nice to have this available and that you can still jump into it and experience it a little bit better nowadays and see your character all in action. But make sure you migrate them, I guess, because apparently there are so many days for that to happen. So I guess I'm glad that I kind of came in to check out in case my character kind of vanished or something, I guess. I don't know. Look at all these weird creatures. I just wish they could clean up the pop-in. It would really be nice to see like a next-gen boost on this one, like an optimization. Would be fantastic to clean this up. Now I don't know how much of that is like server resilient, or well, I guess server reliant would be a better terminology, but yeah, it would be cool to see them, just get it running a little bit more intensely on the platform. I think that would be a very nice option to have. I think it would improve the experience for players that still want to jump into it. But at the same time, I think you're going to have fun jumping through this. I think you have a lot of fun playing it, spending the time leveling your character, improving your skills, exploring the world, seeing what it has to offer, battling creatures, doing the PvP if that's something you want to do. And it's just kind of like a wondrous world that you can explore. It's just cool. So I hope you enjoyed this tour into Tera and the bustiness that is part of that experience.